My name is Shamin. I'm from Bombay, India.
My name is Johan, and I'm from Belgium.
My name is Elena and I'm from Moscow, Russia. I remember first time I got to know about narrative practice. It was in the conversation with a colleague of mine. I was about to graduate from the second higher education program, psychology, and I really wanted to go into practice, but I didn't know what approach and where to go. And then this accident, nice accident. I bumped into the friend, and she was talking about narrative therapy in a strange way. I've never heard. I had never encountered that description of a therapy before. So I was really stunned, and I asked, "In what way it is different? Can you just explain in one sentence?" And she said a strange thing to me. It's just so technological, and every moment of your conversation, you know where to go further. And with my level of uncertainty, being like a fresh in this profession, that really attracted me. Of course, it turned out not to be the truth.
In this workshop that I attended, given by Michael White, was all these little practices of respect. I was so very touched by these practices of respect. I wouldn't have been able to word it like that at the time, but looking back at it, that was what it was about.
What struck me as very significant and still stands out to me is just that single sentence that the person is not the problem and the problem is the problem. And I think that culturally just makes so much sense for us in India because in India, people are not really open to or allowed to sometimes even talk about, how they feel and, to be asked a feeling question. I've asked families, how does that make you feel? And I've had a mom actually turn back and tell me, what does that question mean? So I think, to be able to put that distance so that it becomes easier to talk about some of the things that they're going through really stood out to me, and it makes a lot of sense. And, like Johan said, it's just a really respectful way of doing it.
I really resonated what you've just said about the cultural things common in India. It made me think about the cultural peculiarities, historical peculiarities of the Russian people, and how it is connected with a very important thing in the narrative practice to me. And it seems like it's just the answer was there. It's that every person matters.
Right.
And in the Soviet Union, it wasn't the case at all. It was just like no one mattered. And people were seen as being totally the same. So to me, it was the beautiful, like the opening to the beauty of every person, like to the uniqueness and beauty, and it's not in our culture. So that was struck me. I remember that. Thank you for sharing this.
The whole concept of being decentered yet influential, again, is something that really strikes me as being important. Where so again in India, a lot of the therapies and a lot of what people use in situations, in therapeutic situations, is like a top-down medical approach, and I think just the whole concept of you being an equal partner and co-constructing something together is something that's so meaningful, because you don't have all the answers, but you're doing it together, and it's a process, it's a journey for both people involved. And I think I really resonate with the fact that it's not that medical. You aren't the expert in somebody else's life. That person is their own expert. So I think that's something. And again, it's a cultural thing. When you go to, especially in India, when you go to a doctor or you go to a therapist, whether it's a psychologist or any other kind of therapist, like an occupational therapist maybe, you go there with the expectation that this person's going to tell me what to do, and he's going to, he or she's going to fix all my problems. And that's what I so like about this, that, it's not about fixing the problems, it's about, partnering and doing something together, and developing those stories. So I think that's something that really makes sense to me.
I think there's such a magic, there can be such a magic in a question, in the words you use and how you use that. And that's not new, but I feel encouraged to pursue that even more. Yeah. Finding questions that open possibilities and make it possible for people to explore things in a way that they haven't been able to before.
What I'm really, looking forward to is connecting with a lot of more people and being in touch. So I'm sure, we're going to stay in touch and connect over some of the work we do because it is somewhat similar. So
Yeah, we discussed
Yeah.
today some new connections, some new
Possibilities,
projects,
yeah.
and they are starting to shape, I think, all those projects and future developments. That's what I love about that too.